everybody, and welcome along to today's podcast. Today's guest started off at local club Scunthorpe United, making the first team fairly quickly, attracting the interest of a few clubs, eventually signing for Aston Villa for a fee of £400,000, where he went on to make over 50 appearances in 3 years there, including playing in the 1994 League Cup final, where Aston Villa defeated Manchester United. Neil then joined Middlesbrough in the summer of '94, becoming the first £1 million signing for the club, and became the first piece of the jigsaw for Brian Robson and his plans of the Riverside Revolution. Played in his second League Cup final for Middlesbrough in '97. He moved on to Bolton in '97 for £1.5 million, who had just been promoted to the Premier League. They were relegated on goal difference after finishing level with Everton. The following season, Bolton reached the playoff final but lost 2-0 to Watford. Watford then became Neil's next destination, where he played in the Premier League again. He captained the side and made over 200 appearances in all competitions. Neil also played for Cardiff City and Crewe in the Football League and retired in 2018. Today's guest is Neil Cox. How are you doing, Neil?
Sorted, mate.
Nice one. Can you hear me okay?
Yeah, all sorted. Good lad.
Good lad. So how are you keeping so far in lockdown? How are you getting on?
Yeah, not too bad. I've been back in London for 8-9 weeks now. We shut up shop at Notts County, and so I came back to London where the family house is, or where the house is, and been here since.
Good stuff. So just starting on from your career, you started off at your local club Scunthorpe United. What were your earliest memories when you started off there?
Well, I was a Scunthorpe fan and lived next door to the old showground. Was able to look out my parents' bedroom window and see the pitch. So at the age of probably 6 or 7, I was going to games regular, jumping over fences, sneaking under turnstiles and watching the games then.
Good stuff, yeah. So, like you were saying there, you supported them as a boy then. Who was your hero growing up for Scunthorpe United?
Yeah, it was probably a lad called Steve Camack, centre forward. He was a goal scorer and centre forward, and got to know him after. And when I packed in, met him a couple of times, and really did really well for the town at the time when I was going through difficult times. He stayed with the club for a long period.
Yeah, good stuff. Yeah, so you had a couple of years. Well, you started off in the first team there, and you got quickly signed for Aston Villa. Who was the manager at Aston Villa at the time? Was it Ron Atkinson?
No, he was Dr. Venglos.
Oh, Venglos, yes.
Dr. Joseph Venglos signed me. Yeah, he signed me there, and a lad called Gary Penrice. We both signed on more at the same time. Going into a massive club at the time. They just played Inter Milan in the European Cup and beat them. And they was struggling in the league. That was the only problem. But it was a good side to go join, and a good start for my Premiership career, really, or the football career, really, because it wasn't Premiership then.
Yeah, you had a couple of years at Aston Villa. You played in a few memorable games. You came on in the '94 League Cup final against Man United. I think the score was 2-0 at the time, was it?
Yeah, 2-0 at the time. Come on, probably 40 minutes to go. Steve Staunton come off and struggling, so I went to right back, and obviously they scored, and then we got a penalty last kick of the game. Chelsea got sent off, and obviously ended up winning the game 3-1. But fully deserved. We played really well on the day, and Manchester United commanded our pace up front.
Yeah, Man United had a good team at that season as well. They done the double, didn't they?
Yeah, they could team that. They was going for the treble that year, and great team. They had a lot of winners, a lot of good people on the ball who could carry it. Obviously, Giggs on 1 week, Sharp as well, Chelsea. Cantona in the time, and then obviously Inch, Robson and Keane. There was a strong outfit.
Yeah, really good team there, wasn't it? Yeah, Brian Robson was at Manchester United at the time, and did he have a little word with you about signing for Middlesbrough? Because I know he took over not long after that season.
Yeah, we had a little bit of a ding dong in the season before on the pitch. I think in the year Man United and Villa were going for the top of the league for the Premiership, and there was a lot of tackles flying in the game. And we had a little push and shove, and then in the bar we had a beer afterwards. And I said, I ever get a job and you're not playing at Villa, let me know. Anyway, a couple of years later, I got the call. He was getting the Middlesbrough job. Would I be interested? And that's how it started, really.
Yeah. So your last game for Villa then was that the League Cup final?
No, it was the. I can't remember what the last game was. Actually, I'm not sure what it was. I think we played. League Cup final came early, and then we played. I think I played about 4 games after that. I even played in goal for 40 minutes away at Southampton, last game of the season. Nigel Spinker got sent off. Paul McGrath had come off. And we had no subs left, so I ended up going in goal away at the Dell for, say, 38 minutes, which was good.
Yeah, I remember that actually, seeing you in the goalkeeper gloves. It was a bit of a strange experience, but you managed to keep a clean sheet, I think. So.
Yeah, I'm not too sure. I think the lad who's at Middlesbrough now, who scored against, who works for Middlesbrough now, does the radio, scored against me, come from Southampton.
Oh, Neil Madison.
Maddo scored against me, yeah.
Yeah.
He never reminded me. I saw him last year, he never said anything about
it. I'm surprised, yeah. No, Neil, I'm surprised he has mentioned it quite a lot.
Yeah.
He likes his football, does Neil?
Yeah, he's done a good, yeah. I saw him last year, he came to Notts County. I think he was doing he would have been doing the people on loan list. And we had Sam Stubbs on loan. He came down to have a look and make sure he was all right. And we spent an hour with him. Yeah, good company. Yeah,
that's right. Yeah, he does a bit of coaching at Middlesbrough as well. And he came down and coached my son last year. My son plays for Stockton Town.
Okay.
He came down and done a bit of coaching for his job in the Middlesbrough Academy. So.
Oh, good. Yeah, he's a good lad. Yeah, found him and he's a good character. And I like the way he handles himself. He's really good.
Yeah, and I don't know if you've ever heard him on the radio, but he gets rather excited at the doing his Middlesbrough commentaries. I
have heard 1 or 2 people mention it, and he does go over the top. But listen, if he's proud and he wants the team to win, that's what you want to see. But you have to be careful sometimes how you say things on the radio, especially, don't you?
Yeah, I think he's been a bit close a few times, but he's definitely passionate.
I can imagine.
Teesside is loving for that.
Yeah. Exactly. That's what shows a bit of passion, and that's what the Teesside people want, a bit of passion.
Yeah, that's right. I mean, I know when you sort of came along, you weren't afraid to show your passion and commitment on the pitch.
Yeah, I think that was one of parts of main Brian Robson sort of thing. I think he got a lot of characters in. Not only young ones, he got myself in, he got Brock Clayton, Nigel Pearson, Alan Miller came in. There was all characters who played for other clubs who wanted to really come and play for Middlesbrough. But he didn't want anybody to come in there and just enjoy himself. He wanted to come in there and push people and push the side. And I think that's what we all did. And not only did we do that, we had a good team spirit there. The boys that was already there, the Wilkinson, the Hendrys, the Pollocks, the Mustoes, the Vickers, the Whites, they was all good characters. And Brian Robson just added a few more, and we had a really good team spirit. And that's how it started.
Yeah, I think we had a good solid squad that season. Obviously, you were the first £1 million signing, sort of one of the first of the Riverside Revolution. I know you played in the last season at Aston Park. We got promoted. It was a good season, that wasn't it? What do you remember about that season?
Well, I remember it was going to the new stadium the following year, and that season only one team went up. One team went up, and one team went up by playoffs. So we know it was going to be difficult. There's some good sides in the league. There was Wolves. There was Bolton fighting for it, and everybody knew Sunderland would be up and down every year. They would be close. But Reading were also a good side. So it was going to be difficult. But just remember the first few games at home, the place was absolutely rammed at Aston Park. I remember just driving to the game at 12:30, and you couldn't get in the ground because it was just everywhere, Borough fans everywhere. And we thought, this will be all right, starts off like this. But that just carried on for the full season, home and away. We packed every away stadium, and every home game was full. Even in the middle of the winter, when it was really bad weather, they were still rammed in, and you just thought you knew if you could build this football club, it'd be a great place to play. Yeah,
it was definitely a good atmosphere at the old ground. I know, like obviously me being a big Middlesbrough fan, it's you'll miss it sometimes going to the Riverside with the atmosphere generated at Aston Park. Still go past now and again and see the house and estate there and remember good times.
Yeah, great times. I mean, when you used to go there, just going up there, I'd been there many years as a Scunthorpe player when I was in youth team and played there in the FA Youth Cup and everything. And it was a great old stadium, but it was tight. It was everybody was close, and the fans was on top of you. And that's the only problem with new stadiums now. They seem to be spread out a little bit, and it's more for the corporate sort of people and not for the real fans. And leaving that place was a shame. But I say getting promoted on probably one of the last home games of the season, and going to the new stadium was fitting for Ayresome Park, really.
Yeah, I think I remember that season as well. We had to wait a couple of days before we actually knew we'd won the league. I think it was a game against Wimbledon, I think it was. I remember listening on the radio, and the result, we found out we'd won the league, got promotion, which was great.
Yeah, I can remember I was sat home listening to it, and then we all met the next day at the ground to expect to go have a training session. We met at Ayresome Park to train, and there wasn't much training done. We went straight out and had a good party with all the staff, not only just the players and the coaching staff. The chairman came, the office girls, the cleaners, and everybody from the football club came. That was there on the day, and I think that was just typical of the football club and the chairman and the manager, that it wasn't the players that got promoted, it was a football club, and everybody had to stick together, which was another great point of that football club, that it wasn't just about individuals or the team, one team, it was the whole team together, which was a bonus for everybody.
Yeah, I think I remember the footage that day. He was all on the pitch, pouring champagne over the coaches and the manager.
Yeah. Robbo didn't spill much champagne. He was drinking his.
Being a lad from the northeast, certainly like the drink.
Yeah, definitely.
Yeah, there was a bit of a sort of a drinking culture. I think at the time in football across the UK at that time, wasn't there?
I think it wasn't. I think it was just natural. It was like it was a working men's sport, really, where afterwards we had the beer, and maybe with the fans in a players' lounge, or maybe with a pub around the corner, or whatever it was. And it just wasn't Middlesbrough. It was every football club. Liverpool had a drinking day on a Monday. Aston Villa's was a Monday. Some of Everton's was a Tuesday. Every club had them, and it just came into football. But as the more money came in and sports scientists came available, I think the more and more after them eras and people came into football, managers came in that expected you to be fit, expected you to eat the right stuff, and everybody got done stats. And as soon as the stats were going through, you had to get your stats up. So things had changed in football. But yeah, the boys did like a social every now and then.
Yeah, definitely. It was definitely a different time. I mean, obviously for me, I'm a personal trainer, so I know all about nutrition and things like that. But obviously, early days in football, there wasn't really a lot of that, was there? I think Aston Villa was the first in England to introduce that type of thing, really.
Yeah, I think he did a great. Joseph Wenger tried to bring it in at Aston Villa. We used to go to hotels after games and eat properly and a pasta, but we had some senior boys there really that couldn't understand it. For 15 years, they'd been going for a few beers and a curry on a Saturday night, but he was taking us back to a hotel. But at the end of it, the lads got into it, and the lads just sat and had the pasta, had some nice food, but then they had a couple of glasses of wine and a beer afterwards. It didn't really work out till probably say that the newer managers, the Wengers, came in and they stayed in hotels afterwards and ate properly, and then the French connection came in. A lot of the French boys came in that were fit, and the Italians came in, and yeah, I think it was a good change for football.
Yeah, I think it shocked a few of the English players, particularly in Arsenal and one or two other clubs, when they were taking things like plastic off the tables and that sort of thing.
Yeah, I think it was different. And then on coaches on the way home, you was having proper pasta and proper food with a chef on board, and you wasn't stopping at fish and chips. Away at Grimsby and having fish and chips on the way home and a couple of beers. You was having proper food and getting some hydrous back into your body, which is the right thing to do. But at the times, it was hard for people to change, and that's the problem with a lot of things. People don't like change.
Yeah, definitely. It's changing sort of mentality as well, isn't it? Once you get into a habit, it sort of just becomes natural, doesn't it?
Exactly. So, and when you do, and that's what happened. I mean, I didn't, after leaving Middlesbrough, went to Bolton and probably looked after myself more at Bolton and Watford in the end of my career than I did at Middlesbrough, because I was a young boy and think I could get away with it a little bit more and like to go out and socialise and have a good time. But I also came in and trained hard and worked hard because you had to. And Middlesbrough, you definitely had to, because if you didn't put your foot on the mark in training, you was left out. And if you was a bit slow in training, somebody would kick you. So you had to be right. Even though the boys went out and did party, yes, we did have a good time, but we also trained really, really hard at 100% nearly every day we was in.
Yeah. When you first came to Middlesbrough, Ryan Robson was still playing, wasn't he, player manager? What was he like to sort of play against, play with as well?
Well, as I know, Ryan Robson, I was a bit of a Manchester United fan as well. He was an unbelievable player. Great athlete, gets in the box, scored goals, but obviously kept a mild. We got the name for it because the way he was. But he came into Middlesbrough. He still wanted to play, 37 years of age. Every day he was at the front of the run and he was the best trainer. He didn't give the ball away in training. He demanded off everybody. The training was, as I just said, was 110% every day. Tackles were flying in from the first day of training. When Brian Robson took over, the small-sided games, he was not losing. And he just brought this mentality to the football club, to everybody, that, listen, if you want to be like, you want to win, you want to go out and socialise, you want to win, you've got to work hard. And the boys that didn't, he got rid of them. They was out the door straight away. And 5 or 6 of the boys left straight away as soon as he got out, because they wasn't willing to do that. And that was the main thing, how good he was, how good a player he was, but how determined he was to win 5-a-sides, 2v2s, 1v1s, and 11v11s. His side wanted to win.
Yeah, definitely. If you want to play hard, you've got to work hard, don't you? You've got to earn it.
Oh, exactly. Yeah, you've got to earn it. You've got to get them stripes on you, and you've got to get through that pain barrier every day. And if you push yourself every day in training, when that last 10 minutes come on a Saturday, you know you've been to that peak already in training that week, you're fine.
Yeah, definitely. No pain, no gain, I always say.
Yeah, exactly. Them old days.
Yeah. At Middlesbrough then, Viv Anderson, I think, wasn't he still sort of playing as well? I think I remember a certain game where he played.
Barnsley away, Viv played.
Yeah.
Barnsley away. Viv joined in training, but just stayed up front and kept out the way and just scored goals when they come off the goalkeeper, and he did a lot of that. But Viv was good for in a dressing room, especially the hour before the kick-off, where Viv did he used to tell you about who he was playing against. Listen, you're playing against so-and-so, good left foot, make sure you show him inside, bang, bang, bang. And he used to go through the team like that. But his main thing was Viv was keep clean sheets. We keep clean sheets. We've got enough people in this squad, the Endrys, the Alan Moores, the Hignets, to score goals and win games. And that's all he wanted to do, really, is he put sessions on for the back four and the back five to defend really, really well and let the others go forward and score goals.
Yeah. Yeah, it was a really good, talented team and hard-working team that season. Do you keep in touch with any of the guys from Middlesbrough in your time there?
I speak to Alan Miller regular. I still meet Alan. We always meet up 2 or 3 times a year. Go out for a couple of beers, meet in London, and he probably goes to watch an Arsenal game. And if I'm in London, we'll just meet up and have a few beers. Speak to a couple of people on social media. Alan Moore, like to keep in touch with Alan. Obviously, he had a little bit of a tough time, but good to see he's coming through and pulling through and looking strong. Clayton Blackmore every now and then, because obviously rumouring him again with golf, but people moved on, people have spread out, and every now and then, as I say, you might get him back up to Middlesbrough to watch a game, you invite and you see it for the old boys, which is always good.
Yeah, I'm guessing one of them is not Ravanelli then.
No, we've not since. It's quite funny actually. People have gone on about our stories in the cup, which is a shame really, because we're getting renowned for this tit for tat of what we're saying about each other. At the end of the day, it was done. Whatever was happened, and we got to move on, really. As you say, he was a great player for the football club. He scored loads of goals. Just wasn't a character that I really got on with, and a few people did. But at the end of the day, we're growing up now. We have to move on with the situation. But I never played against him after that. I was meant to play Derby against Watford, but he didn't play, and then I think he got transferred after that. So it would have been interesting just to see on the short period of time when we just left, I would have handled it. But I think we're grown up now. I know comments keep flying about, but as I say, we should be growing up now and move on a little bit.
Yeah, it was a bit of a shame because there was a lot of talk about it on the morning of the cup final. Obviously, we'd been relegated the week before as well. It wasn't the best preparations, that sort of thing, really.
No, it wasn't. It wasn't meant to be like that. It was took, and I think everybody, all the players and the staff at Middlesbrough knew what I was saying, but obviously Rav wasn't happy about the situation. But it was proven point. He came off after 12 minutes of the game with a bad hamstring, wasn't fit to play. And at the end of the day, that club had gone through enough that season with losing the 3 points. We needed to go to the FA Cup final with a full squad that was going to win that game and give ourselves a fighting chance of ending the season on a high, really, which was a really disappointing season. Could have been the best season the club have ever had, but it turned out into a bit of disaster. My only point was to play people that are going to go hard and go strong, like we had them for 3 years, and do that. And there was no individuals, and it was a shame that he decided he was fit and he wasn't, and he came off and probably could have cost us. You just don't know, do you?
Yeah, I mean, he was obviously a great striker, but he wasn't always the best team player, and obviously I expect him to come to Middlesbrough, no training ground and things like that at the time.
Yeah, but we knew that. Everybody knew that, and there wasn't many good training grounds around. If you look to the players that signed, I think Clayton Blackmore and Manchester United were changing training grounds. Aston Villa had a training ground. Sheffield Wednesday had one, but they sold part of it off with Nigel Pearson. A few of the other boys had got in their cars and moved and had to get in their cars to training grounds. It was never easy. And Middlesbrough were on the move, and there was always planning to have a training ground. And it's never easy because financially it's difficult. Whoever thought now football would be a billionaire situation when we was at Middlesbrough, with buying training grounds and hotels, and you would never have thought that. But yet again, if you look at Mr. Gibson, he's done a great job since then. They've moved forward, fantastic training ground, hotel next door, and everything's moving in the right direction for that football club.
Yeah, definitely. It's a long way from the season in 1986 when obviously we had our struggles, trainer and fields and things like that.
We trained at the prison. We trained at Kirk Leamston when we was there.
Yeah.
Our first pre-season we did at Kirk Leamston. It was difficult because obviously you had to be in the gates by 11 o'clock and they weren't allowed to open until 12:30. I can remember Pears getting injured. I think he broke a couple of ribs, but he was laid there for an hour because we couldn't get nobody out of the prison to get the ambulance on. So it was difficult times, but you got on with it. You dug in, you worked hard together, and you had on the way back from Kirk Leamston to the Aston Park, you had a bit of laugh in the car and you had a joke, and that's how you went in different people's cars to get to know people and speak to people in cars. It might have been only for 15 minutes, but Brian Robson expressed to get to know other people in the camp.
Yeah, definitely. Yeah, hard times always show who the hard people are, doesn't it?
Exactly.
Yeah, and then from Middlesbrough, then you moved on to Bolton Wanderers for I think it was 1.5 million. Was it Colin Todd who was found there?
Colin Todd was the one. Colin Todd had called me on the way home from the FA Cup final on the Sunday. He'd made a call saying that I've accepted Middlesbrough have accepted my offer. Would you like to come down? Which I didn't really know because Middlesbrough not spoke to me. They'd made an offer through the post, Middlesbrough, which I was a little bit disappointed with. They could have pulled me in and spoke to me, but they made me an offer through the post, which was poor, really. That obviously played 100 some appearances for the football club, and then a letter comes through the door. There's a new contract, which is not really where it should be done. So I was disappointed. So it was one of them, and with the circumstances for the cup final of somebody was going to get blamed for the issue, and at the first thing I was getting blamed for all the things that went wrong because people weren't owning up to what had gone wrong. So I decided to move on and spent 3 years at Middlesbrough. Really disappointed to leave because I just thought I had a lot more to prove and a lot more to offer, but it was my time to move.
Yeah, I mean, you were definitely sort of one of the fans' favourites at Middlesbrough. It was disappointing that you left that season.
Yeah.
Fans in particular.
As you say, I was really disappointed. The way the club say, usually everybody else had been offered contracts and not been offered contracts. They'd been pulled in and talked to. Said, look, we're not going to offer you a contract, and whoever it was, and then people being offered contracts, come in, we'll speak to you. But our man was through the post and was like, what's this? The letter through the post, and Middlesbrough badge on it, and then obviously it was an offer of a contract. I just thought that wasn't the way it should be done, really, and that was poor from the football club. But I think that's just the way it was at the times. I think it was losing sight of what was going on and what was the real thing of football, and the club was probably changing to a too big or too soon, and there was letting people down a little bit.
Yeah, definitely different times. And you probably get a contract on Instagram these days or Twitter.
Yeah, on Zoom.
Lots of social media these days, isn't it?
Yeah, it's changed. Football's changed. As I say, I'm glad I had my times when I did because we was in a way where a lot of the football was about team spirit. And a lot about getting together, and when you was doing them runs on a Tuesday because you knew you was going to go out on a Tuesday, them runs were hard. We used to do, but the boys used to help people through it, even if you wasn't the best runner. But it was like, come on, you get going, and Robbo used to push you, Viv used to push you, knowing that listen, you're going to feel better at the end of this. And I think that's the way that football club was really good.
Yeah, definitely. So you had a bit of a couple of years at Bolton. You got promotion there. What was it like your couple of years at Bolton?
Yeah, Bolton was a good club. Bolton was similar to Middlesbrough, just moved to the Reebok new stadium, left Birmingham Park. The training ground was fantastic there. They must admit they had a really good training ground as well. So it was fortunate, and we had a lot of really young, good players. And it was moving forward. The club was moving forward, and just sadly that we had a ball go over the line against Everton on the TV game. Must have gone over the line for about 3 yards, nearly at the back of the net. It wasn't given. We ended up losing the game. And at the end of the season, when it all comes through, we end up getting relegated on goal difference.
Yeah.
And it's always difficult to stay up your first year. And it was difficult for that football club because the next year we lost in the playoff final to Watford. After selling 7 or 8 of our best players, the club had lost out on the money because obviously the Premiership money had gone and the parachute money was only probably 25-30 million then.
Yeah.
Now it's 150 million. It's a lot different. And we sold a lot of players per France. Blake went, Nathan Blake went, and it was difficult. And say losing in the playoff final was probably difficult for the football club to take.
Yeah, and you mentioned there you lost against Watford. Didn't you go on to join Watford sort of that's later on that summer?
Yeah, Sam came in. Sam came, obviously, Colin Todd left and got the sack. Phil Brown took over for 5 or 6 games, and then Big Sam came in and played first 4 or 5, 6 games for Sam. And then he pulled me saying, listen, we have to sell, we have to make some money. We've had an offer from Watford, we need to sell you. I said, listen, I'm not really sure, I don't want to go. I'm a northern boy, didn't really want to go down south, didn't want to go live down south. But he was saying, look, we need the money. And they're going to pay it up front, so can you help us out? So it was one of them, really. I wasn't told to go and I wasn't pushed. I was just offered an opportunity to go, and I went down for Watford and signed for them.
Yeah. So who was the manager at Watford at the time? Was it Graham Taylor who actually signed you?
Graham Taylor was the manager at the time, yeah, which was quite funny because he was a Scunthorpe boy, same as I am.
Yeah,
we went to the same school, and so yeah, it was quite funny when I was going down there. But yeah, it was a different situation. I'd already been brought up with managers that played football: Colin Todd, Brian Robson, Big Ron. They always wanted to get the ball down and play. Graham Taylor was as a route one man. Get the ball as forward as quick as you can in as least amount of time, and we'll play from there and see what happens, which I struggled to for the first probably 6 months of my time there of adapting to where he wanted to play.
Yeah. Did he know of you then, obviously being from Scunthorpe as well? Did he know about your career previously?
Yeah, he'd known about it. His dad was a local press reporter for the Scunthorpe Telegraph, which is the local one. So I've done many interviews with him over my time at Scunthorpe and through the youth ranks at Scunthorpe. So he did know about me, and he did. Obviously, I got picked for under-21s when he was England manager. So I had a couple of conversations with him. Yeah, he's just different way of football. Graham Taylor had an unbelievable career as a manager by getting the ball forward. The big centre forward, knockdowns, crosses and stuff like that. But I'd just gone through a spell with my managers that got the ball down and played. Brian Robson said, listen, we want to play football. We're going to win the league and we're going to win games. We're going to win it by keeping the ball and making angles. And that's how we did. And all of a sudden, every time I get it into the channel was a bit different to what I was used to.
Yeah, like I said, he managed a lot of games, even at Watford as well. But he'll always be remembered as turnip head for his England days at the World Cup.
Yeah, but he just thought the way he wants to do, and don't blame him. At the end of the day, these managers get an opportunity to get it his way, and yeah, he did a fantastic job for Watford, and he's fondly known at that football club. So you've got to stand after him and everything like that. And then after that, he changed a bit. Luca Vialli came in under a bit of a weird one, and was placed on the transfer list by Luca for no reason at all. I just think he was bringing his own men in, and 7 or 8 games later, I was captain of the team, and I was sat around his house having some food. How things can change in football, really.
Yeah, you played over 200 games, I think, at Watford, so you had quite a good time at Watford there.
Yeah, Watford was I was lucky. Aston Villa was a massive club, and then seemed to go to family clubs where it was all about the fans. At Middlesbrough, Bolton, and Watford was the same. It was like a family club, and you stayed in the area, you lived in the area, and I lived just outside the Watford area. And people got to know you, and you socialised with the supporters, and they realised it was a bit like old school. Watford wanted to be like Middlesbrough, that you went for a pint with the fans and you spoke to people and you signed autographs. None of that, let's get in my car, I'm driving off, like you did a bit of Aston Villa. So it was a good club to be. It was a family club. Yeah,
definitely. Elton John, was he the chairman at the time then?
Yeah, Elton John was the chairman or the life president at the time, and he came in a few times. When he was captain, obviously, he used to come and introduce himself, and he knew everything about every player. He knew the wife, the kid's name, what school they went to. He really, really was passionate about the club. And when he came in, he just used to introduce him to the new players. And if anything he could do for him every now and then, he knew it was like a Christmas party. He used to send a couple of quid for the boys to buy first round of drinks in and stuff like that. So, and if we needed anything, tickets and anything, was really good and helped us out. So yeah, what a really nice fella for a football club. Did a lot of work for that football club.
Yeah. Did he come in and sing at the Christmas parties then?
Well, no, what we did at one Christmas, we all dressed as Elton John, and he didn't know. So we sent a picture to the person who looks after him, and then all of a sudden Elton sent some money on a bike to make sure we all bought a drink, and he sent a couple of quid so we could buy a couple of rounds. He just wanted the boys to enjoy themselves and show passion when you play for his football club, really, which is no different to Steve Gibson. He wants people to show some passion for that shirt, and he was just the same as anybody else, really.
Yeah, definitely. So in your career, then, who would you say was one of the sort of the joker of the team?
Well, I think the joker of the team, I was fortunate to play with Dean Saunders at Aston Villa, which is a character, always had a joke, always had a funny story. Nigel Pearson was an absolute crackerjack. You just never know what to expect from Nigel. For one day we went into Ayrton Park and he'd drawn pictures, caricatures above your peg of everybody. And then we had the little drinking machine in the corner and he'd put a goldfish in it. And every time, a live goldfish, he used to feed it. And every time we used to press to get a drink of water out, the old goldfish used to swim up and things like that. Nigel was good for team spirit, but you just had to have a look around the corner and see what he was up to next.
Yeah, and he's manager at Watford now. Did you not go back and see him a while ago?
I went to see that. I got offered to go to Watford to watch the Manchester United game, and they asked me to do an interview after the game with United, which we had a 20-minute conversation off the record with no microphones of our times at Middlesbrough and what was going on. And Chubby Brown got mentioned a couple of times because obviously Chubby used to give me a bit of stick on the right wing, and Nigel used to laugh at Chubby Brown. And yeah, it was good to see Nigel, and he's done a fantastic job. Been out of the game a little bit after the Leicester situation. He's doing a really good job at Watford, and I hope they stay up and he keeps his job and pushes that football club forward.
Yeah, he's definitely a tough person, tough tackler as he was as well at the time. And
yeah, tough character, hard, but he speaks really, really well. And I think the boys adapt to him, and they like the way he is. He's an honest person. He takes you out easy. He trains like an honest person. It's a 50-50 ball. He would tackle you properly. He wouldn't kick you. But if there was a fight and a scuffle, he would be in there helping everybody out. So yeah, really nice fella. I like Nigel.
Yeah, definitely. I think the last couple of seasons when Middlesbrough have been in for new managers, he's always been top of the list. Obviously, even though he's not a local lad, but his passion and the way he was on the pitch for Middlesbrough as well, he's still well loved at the club.
Yeah, it always surprised me how he never got the job there because, as you say, you just spoke there saying that everybody liked him, did a good club, everybody knows him. And probably Middlesbrough have had some really good managers in, and I like Woodgate. I think he's the right man for the job, and that football club needs to stick by him and push him forward and keep him in the job. And I'm thinking in the next couple of years, I think they'll be stronger. I just don't understand why Nye's never got opportunity a few years ago, but who knows?
Yeah, definitely. Yeah, he was. I know they say he was one of the favourites before Pulis came in. I think it would have been a good time for him to come in then.
Yeah.
So. Just the way it's just one of them things in that squad.
Yeah.
So in your career then, who would you say had the biggest influence on yourself?
Obviously, with the parents, my both parents followed me everywhere and took me everywhere as a kid. So I think them. I think I had a coach at Scunthorpe called Richard Money. He used to play. He was a first-team player. He went on to Liverpool. He played for Scunthorpe as a youngster. Went to Liverpool, Fulham. He came back at the end of his career, and he took me under his wing when he was a first-team player. When I was 14, 15, he used to train with the first team then. And then I've just kept in touch with me, helped me out to play, helped me through the games and through hard times and good times. He was on the other end of the phone, and I still speak to him now. I spoke to him last week, and he was a big influence on my career as well.
Yeah, I know you kept Hartlepool for a while. I had a bit of a spell at Hartlepool.
That's right. Yeah, that's right. I spoke to Richard. He'd done such a good job at Cambridge and got them promoted. He'd done a really good job at Luton and ended up getting them promoted. And I think he just tried to go into Hartlepool, but it's different. When you're living in the Midlands or in the South, you can get players to come. It's hard to get players up to Hartlepool when the budget's really difficult, especially in the non-leagues. The budgets are really difficult as we're struggling at Notts County, the same with it.
Yeah, definitely. Yeah, so you're at Notts County now. You're working with one of your old teammates, Neil Ardley. How's it going there at the moment?
Yeah, it's good. We obviously we took the job on a really difficult time last year. We thought we'd keep him up, but behind the scenes it was difficult. The chairman was lost all his money, so there was no finance to bring new players in, which we thought we would. So the club went down. So we're rebuilding. Two new Danish owners have come in, big into their stats, helping us out really, really well. It's a great football club. New training grounds just been sorted out, which is good. And new facilities, everything's been right. So we're looking to push forward. We don't know if we're going to have playoffs this year or not. No, we really know. So if our season's finished, I'm sure next year we'll push on and give a good account for ourselves and get the football club promoted, hopefully.
Yeah, definitely. So obviously the season came with a bit of an abrupt end, didn't it, really, with all what's going on at the moment?
Yeah, we was on a good run of form. I think we just lost at Hartlepool, where Hartlepool had done a great job of moving forward, which was good. And I think we'd won 5 out of 5 after that, and then was in the semi-final of the trophy, and third in the league, and still everybody to play really. And we were still open. I know we was about 7 points off. We were still trying to push for automatic, but obviously the league come to a halt with the situation with the virus, and we're all waiting and seeing what's going to happen. Nobody really knows what's going to happen with any league at the moment.
Yeah, like you said, it came out a bit of a bad time for you, really, because I know you were on a good run at the time, weren't you?
Yeah, it was on a good run with everybody fit. With obviously, you're a personal trainer and understand this. We got signed 14 players on the 4th week of the season when they'd not played no games. They're trying to keep people fit and not get them injured while trying to get fit. It's never easy. So we had a plan to get them fit for Christmas, really. Try and stay in the league, try and stay mid-table till Christmas, and then have a good push. And after Christmas, I think we'd only been beaten twice in all the games, which was getting everybody fit, and we was hoping to hit our peak with the last 10 games to go.
Yeah. So of your career then, what would you say was the highest point in your career?
I would say my highest point was probably winning the league with Middlesbrough the first year, because not only was going to a new stadium, but only one team went up that year. Yeah. I know a lot of people have made Middlesbrough favourites because obviously they spent a few quid, but never easy getting out of the Championship. And that year was going to be harder, and the pressure on us all, because it wouldn't have been good going to that new stadium in the Championship. I think we had to go to that new stadium in the Premiership. We didn't want to do playoffs, and to get a winner's medal to win the league was a special thing, and that doesn't come around very often.
Yeah, I think that was sort of one of the big things at the time. Obviously, Brian Robson coming in, there's the talk of the new ground and everything. So it was all geared up for the Premier League, really, wasn't it?
Yeah, it was geared up for it. And I say he got players in to get the team out of the league. And then after that, obviously, they bought some great footballers in, which hopefully the club will be able to do soon again. Barnby, Janino, Emerson, Ravanelli, they all came in. Did fantastic jobs, and we just hope that Middlesbrough can bring these big names back in again. Would he get them promoted, or would he get them up there? The chairman puts his hand in his pocket again, which he always does, and the Borough fans get what they deserve.
Yeah, definitely. So again, you finished your career. You had a bit of a spell at Cardiff.
Yeah.
Was it Dave Jones who signed you there? Was it?
Dave Jones started a year at Cardiff. Yeah, really good. Going to a big city. Only one team in the city is always good. Good club, but they were just struggling financially at the time. But yeah, I had a good, played probably 28, 29 games for him, coming to the end of my career, really, yeah.
Yeah, another ex-Hartlepool manager there, Dave Jones.
Yeah, must be following around, must be. Yeah, Dave was a good character. David had a good job at everywhere he'd been, and in the end he did a fantastic job from getting where the club was, because really when I was there was a bottom 6 Championship club, and he ended up missing out on the playoffs 2 or 3 times before Malcolm Mackay got promoted after about 4th year, I think.
Yeah, he had a little spell at Crewe as well towards the end of your career.
Yeah, that was at the end. Yeah, that was at the end. 2-year deal at Crewe. Dario asked me to come in, just help out. We had a lot of young players. Barney, Nicky Maynard was all young lads in the team. He just wanted me to help him out, really. And yeah, we went and scored 110 goals that year, but I think we let in 130. We just played so open, which was named for Crewe. Crewe was a selling club.
Yeah.
And that's all they wanted to do. That's all Dario wanted to do. And sell players in a football club to make money. So it wasn't really about results. It was about making players better, which I struggled with, really, because I still wanted to win games. But you come out after the game disappointed, and nobody really cared. There's a lack of winning mentality at the football club because they all knew they weren't going to be there the next year. They'd either be sold or gone somewhere else. So, yeah, finished my career on a big disappointment, really, because I just thought I'd still left a lot in the locker that I could carry on.
Yeah, definitely. Especially like you say there, you always need that winning mentality. You're not going to go in, and it's not all about winning, but if you're going into something, you always want to win. You want to give your all, don't you?
Yeah, I was turning up training. I was 35, 36 years old. Still wanting to be the best on the training ground. And there was players there that were turning up late, and not bothered getting the kit on, and not dressed in the right kit. And he was getting away with it. And used to turn up for matches. People used to come in 20 minutes late for games. And I don't worry about it. And that's not what I'd been brought up with for 20 years. It's all about, listen, it's all about the team, show respect to your team. And if he wasn't doing it off the pitch, he was never going to do it on the pitch. And that's what happened.
Yeah, definitely. You've got to give 110% all the time.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah. And from there, obviously you'd retired for a while. You went into, was it becoming a property developer?
Well, I wasn't saying that. I just did a little bit of work in the Algarve in Portugal with a little bit of scouting, really. A couple of clubs asked me to go look at players when I was over there. So I went to Lisbon many times, watched players. Sam Allardyce asked me to watch a couple for other clubs. So it was just keeping my hand in things, really, while I was over there.
Yeah. You did have a brief spell at League Town. I think you did a few years there as well, didn't you? How did that come about?
Yeah. Neil Baker, the assistant manager at Crewe, I'd moved back into the area, and he just said to me that there was his old club was struggling. They needed a new manager. Would I go into the end of the season? So I went to met the chairman, had a beer with the chairman. Chairman's a really nice fella, Andrew. But it looked like he'd been stitched up by a couple of the old managers who'd been spending money, putting players on contracts that was never in that league. So yeah, I did. Went in, managed to get a goalkeeper as my second coach, really, and to help me out. We got a lot of young lads in, a lot of school teachers that used to come in, and I got a bit of a team spirit. Didn't work him too hard on the training. We only trained a couple of times, but we won some games. The club stayed up. But we had a few injuries at the end of the season. I just 40 years of age, decided to play in a couple of games, and yeah, really enjoyed it. It was just to get that buzz about, but my players really pushed me. They wasn't letting me get away with anything, and I got that little bit of buzz back again. That listen, if they're trying hard, I need to make sure I tried hard. So yeah, it was a really good time. We played 4 or 5 games, a couple of FA Cup early games and a trophy game, and a few league games. I really enjoyed it.
Yeah,
I couldn't move for a week afterwards, though.
Yeah, I know. I'm sort of getting on a bit myself, but I always see when the younger ones are doing things, I'm like, right, I'll show you how it's done still.
Yeah, good days.
Yeah, so obviously from there you've done a bit of coaching, and you started off with at AFC Wimbledon, was it, with Neil as well, Neil Ardley?
Yeah, we got the job. Obviously, they got promoted 2 years before me. The football club's been an unbelievable story. Yeah. I think obviously the football club got took off them. They moved to Milton Keynes, and I knew the story. And they played at a hockey stadium, and it was sad. And when we got offered the job, Neil Ardley and myself, we knew it was going to be difficult, but we had to stay up that year, and we managed to stay up the last. We won 2-1, scored a penalty with 12 minutes to go in the last game of the season. And then ever since then, we did really well. We had a poor budget, but we stayed up the first year. We stayed up the second year. The third year, we got promoted by the playoffs. And then we spent 2 seasons in League One. And then they expected us to push them on again, but we're not having a very good budget and the same players. We found it difficult, and we lost our jobs. And spending 6 years at a football club, it was a shame. But the football club's a great football club. They moved to a new stadium next season, which Wimbledon have been trying to get back there for 25, 26 years now. So I think it's a great thing what that football club have done.
Yeah, obviously with Neil Ardley playing for the original Wimbledon as well, obviously he knows what it was all about, the passion and everything.
Yeah, he knew about the passion, and I think that's why he took it really hard when he lost his job, because not only was he the manager, but he was also a supporter.
Yeah.
And he wanted to win as much as anybody did, and fans didn't really look at that way. And when he lost his job, he took it really badly. And then all of a sudden another one comes up 2 or 3 weeks later, you're back in the job again, you've got to get on with it. And that's what football management's like, really.
Yeah, that's it. Yeah, so I'll just ask a few more questions, and obviously thanks very much for joining me this morning. I really appreciate that.
No problems.
Yeah, we were definitely one of the favourite players of mine at the time at Middlesbrough. Like I say, we had a great time there. It was a great few years there, wasn't it?
Yeah, listen, love my time there.
Yeah. So, what would you say was the lowest point in your career then?
Lowest probably be the FA Cup situation.
Yeah.
Not the hassle that ended up with it, because I speak my mind, and I would have said it if I was fit or not, but I wasn't fit to play. My hamstring was poor, and I missed the last few games. So not having an opportunity to play in the cup final, but not have an opportunity to keep that football club up was probably the most disappointing thing.
Yeah, obviously, and like you say, just the way it ended, and you ended up leaving the club that summer as well. So it was a bit of a disappointing end, wasn't it? Really.
Yeah, disappointing. We went on that. After we got back from the FA Cup family, we went round Middlesbrough on that open top bus, and you're just thinking, what would have happened if we'd have won the League Cup, stayed up, and won the FA Cup? I think we'd have still been partying now.
Yeah, obviously, like the players, Janino and all that sort of stuff left there, and it was very disappointing, wasn't it?
Yeah, it was a shame. Yeah, it was a shame that football club, with a little bit of luck and a little bit of leadership from the top, really, because obviously we got 3 points deducted, which we never should have done. That football club could have been a top 4 club now, still going on now for the players they lost and the players that they could have got in.
Yeah, definitely. Yeah, like you say, you played in quite a lot of big games, cup finals and things like that. Is the one in particular that sort of stands out as a particularly memorable game?
I think one of the best games I can remember playing one. I think we played it the last game of the season. We played away at Tranmere in the first year of at Middlesbrough. And we'd already been promoted. Brian Robson, we'd had 3 days on the party, but Brian Robson wanted to change the way we was going to play, and we went to 3 centre backs and 2 pushed on. And I was going to be one of the pushed on fullbacks. But we played really well that day away at Tranmere, even though we'd probably gone over the top on the partying. But just the way he wanted to set up for next season was already in his plans. And we played this open, attractive football. We knew that good names were coming in, because he'd already asked me. We already spoke about Barnby, because I knew Nick Barnby. He'd already spoke to me about Barnby. So I knew we're going to get some really top players in here. And the way we was going to play 3 centre-backs and everybody attack and play open, attractive football. And that game was brilliant. I can just remember, I think there was 12,000, 13,000 there. There must have been 6,000 Middlesbrough fans at this game. And when we scored, the whole ground seemed to go up, and we parted. And it was just probably one of the great days where all the lads thought, what a football club we was playing, but very far, even though we'd already got promotion. I think that was the one that really took us there.
Yeah, definitely. So, of your career then, what was the best piece of advice that you received?
My best piece of advice was probably from Kevin Richardson, who was the Villa captain at the time, has won, obviously, 3 League Cup medals. He'd won League Cup and 3 leagues. I think he'd won the league at Everton a couple of times and at Arsenal. That you must work hard all the time, because this career will soon be over. So you've got to go hard every day. Don't take your foot off anything. Just go hard every day. And I tell my youngsters that we come in, listen, don't let anything bypass you. Every day you're on this grass, you've got to train as hard as you can, because that's what the top players do. And that's what I tell them. Yeah,
exactly. So what advice would you give to any sort of young players just making them
I would just say to them is, listen, enjoy it, but they've got to work hard on their training ground and make sure they practice the right things. You watch this Ronaldo, he's fit, he's strong, he works hard every day. But when he trains under. It's like you're playing in a game. And if he's there, opportunity to score goals, he'll score goals. I think people practice, but young lads now practice the wrong things. They're all worried about megging people and nutmegging people and things like that. Well, that's not the way it is, really. It's all about going past people, dribbling, yes, at the right time, and practice the right things.
Yeah, I mean, he's definitely got an ego, but he's got the ability and the work rate to sort of match that, hasn't he?
Yeah, he must be a dream to work with as a fitness person, because he wants to do it. And a lot of these players don't want to do, but have to do it. He looks like he wants to be fit, he wants to be strong, and he wants to be the best. And if you can work with players that want to be the best, then you're halfway there.
Yeah, definitely. Yeah, I watch a few. I mean, he does a few workouts now. I watch some of his workouts he does at home with his little boy and things like that. So
yeah,
keep fit.
Yeah, he's probably got as much money as that and anybody else. He's probably got a lovely lifestyle, but he just wants to be the best. And I just think that's what you've got to aim for. And sometimes you might not get there, But you know, if you give your hardest and you work your hardest, no matter what job it is, football or anything, then you've got an opportunity to get there if you're going to work your hardest.
Yeah, absolutely. So I'd like to say anyway, thanks for joining me today, Neil. Like I say, it's been a great pleasure of mine to speak to you. I like to see the nice shirt in the background there as well.
Yeah, sorry about that. If I'd have known I'd have moved on, I was just sat near the light and I moved on. I've got a couple of other shirts around the place and a couple upstairs at the house as well.
Yeah.
The Middlesbrough ones, and I've got my medals in the front there for Middlesbrough winning the league in the house as well.
Sorry, was that your cup final shirt then, 94, is that one?
So that's the league. Yeah, that's the Aston Villa Manchester United shirt. Yeah, which the club framed everything for me, which was brilliant. The club did everything, then they looked after me. And then next is an England shirt, and then in the other rooms upstairs, got me first Middlesbrough shirt. I've got every club first shirt I played for, and then the cup final shirts I played for Middlesbrough and the playoff final for Bolton.
Yeah, I've got built my own little Jimmy. I've got a few little bits and bobs. I want to get a few shirts in here and things like that. Just my own little man cave.
Well, listen, I'll have a look, and if I've got any spare shirts, I think they're in storage somewhere. I'll send you a Bury shirt.
Oh, nice one. I appreciate that. Yeah. Yeah. Thanks, Neil, and enjoy the rest of your day. And thanks very much, pal.
Yeah, nice to speak to you.
Thank you. Take care, pal.
Bye bye. Cheers.